on your favorite station, Radio Stad and Haag. Iventi d'Azzurro, your connection to classic Italos and more.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to present you on a radio most controversial story. It's a boy named Andrew, but a song called Boyfriend from the city as This Is All.
a lovely surprise that we see so many of you in the live chat already, waiting for a wonderful show, because, sometimes it's difficult to predict what's going to happen. But in this case, I'm sure that we will be in heaven. Well, not literally, of course, but a little with the paradise feelings, because we have the wine. The guys of On Wine are present in the studio now, and they took care of some lovely bottles of wine. So that's for sure something that's good for the spirit. But of course, I hope that you will get some more info, not only by me, but also all the guys themselves. And we are waiting for the presence of Federico di Bonaventura, aka Fred Ventura, because the release of the newest album that he made, Milano Undiscovered 2023, is a reason to have him, in the show. And that's why I started with a song written by him. Maybe you never realized that Be Your Boyfriend, and Federico's not so proud of this song. And I can imagine if you move forward as an artist, you have maybe your thoughts about the first things that you did in the musical scenes. But Sharon, the boyfriend, was indeed co-written by Federico di Bonaventura. So that was the first song that you heard in the show, this episode of Italo Disco Monday Night Radio Stad. My name is Marcello. We have Michiel, we have Maurizio, we have Andrea, the only real Italian in the house at the moment. And of course, we have, the tallest guy is Gijs. That's a really Dutch name with the gola, Gijs. And the other one is the very, very sympathetic guy, Kaspar. That's easier for foreign listeners, I think. They are going to explain something more about their business, and it's going to be lovely for sure. And I think you find that topic very interesting. Okay, we go now to an artist who is responsible also for some greetings that I received for Easter. A lot of artists were very, very kind and nice to have their Easter greetings on the internet, on Facebook as well. But I received a mini song for Pasqua, and that's from this guy. You recognized the song already. Printed on Time Records in 1989, it has been a wonderful Reason to Love. Love is the best. By Silver Pozzoli.
Hi, this is Silver Pozzoli and you're listening to Radio Stad, Den Haag. Radio Stad.
Just like a memory. Now you're back to stay.
om deze plaat weer op de draaitafel terug te horen. Very nice to play this one once again, because it's a lovely singer. And I told you, Silvio Pozzoli, he played something also very unique. And I think it's a kind of tradition, because if you wish something to Silvio, he's keen on sending a very nice, appropriate mini song to you. Listen to this, what he sent to me and to you as a listener.
Hi, this is Silvio Pozzoli and you're listening to Radio Stad, Den Haag. Radio Stad.
I fiori sono nei prati, mentre i rami degli alberi germogliano petali rosa. È un'esplosione di colori in questa nuova primavera. E allora eccomi qua per cantare buona Pasqua a te, buona Pasqua a chi vive nell'amore della fede. Buona Pasqua a te, buona Pasqua a voi e a tutta la gente buona come noi.
Applauso, applauso for Silvio Pozzoli. What a wonderful thing and an act of, well, respect, love and more dedication also to you as a listener, because he was singing about the Buona Pasqua, the happy Easter. And today, the second day of Easter in Italy is called Pasquetta. And the second day is, of course, still something to celebrate, because for most of you, I hope, you are free from work, and that's why I hope you can linger on listening to this radio station. I just have read also in the live chat, and if you haven't taken the opportunity to join the live chat, I wish that you would do so. I have seen that the number one in the top 1,000 of the house music is because of Italians. The number one, and I'm just looking now, The Age of Love is for Bruno Sanchiori. Is that correct what I'm reading now? Yes, Sanchioni, excuse me. And Giuseppe Chiacchia. Giuseppe Chiacchia. And the last one was better known under the name of Pino D'Angio with Ma quale idea. Well, auguri italiani numero uno in the top top 1,000.
Normally it's Robin Albers with JD, normally number one.
Yeah, and
but Lex is also number 8.
Number 8 with the Atlantic Ocean, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Auguri, auguri, auguri. Ok, in attesa siamo per Federico di Bonaventura, for Fred Ventura, but in the meantime we have wonderful music also for you. Like this one, I saw the announcement on Facebook, and Marcello van der Harst, you know him. He was very keen in saying, yeah, behind the project is also Paul Jeffrey. And I like that. He's really a wonderful guy in creating beautiful music. And in the 80s with Lombardoni Publishing record label, they create altogether the Indio song. And as a matter of fact, I think that also Eddie Parecchio was still and is still a fan of this track. 1986, the Indio song, and Flexi Summer was the project name chosen for this one, Lombardoni number 18. Keep on listening, because in a short while we're going to speak for the first time to the guys of Unwine, because we need some more information. I invited them, not for nothing, of course. You need some more info, because their enterprise, their company is a wonderful one, and I hope that you will be interested to listen to what they have to say about On Wine. Remember that name, On Wine. In the meantime, enjoy this one. You've seen Menno entering the radio studio as well, because if there's good music and good wine, You can find Menno very near. Okay, let's go to the Flexi Summer. Here is Indio. The wonderful Flexi Summer with the track Indio. Also appreciated by Michael Rind. I hope that this Michael, maybe it's Michael, could be. But I now have a gamble for Michael. Thank you for your feedback, man. We have behind the microphones now two guys who became friends. And, you know, I have to explain that from the very first interview that Gijs, the tall one, gave in a newspaper, I think it was for Brabants Nieuwsblad. The BN De Stem.
Yeah.
It could be, well, a big one. And I thought, well, this is really a good idea, maybe to have more spreading the news for Italian wine, because the basic idea was to start with the Italian wine. And Caspar, maybe I can begin with you. You guys started really with the Italian wine farmers. I'm not sure, how do you call them in English? Wine farmers? Or?
Wineries. We call them wineries, yeah.
Okay, the wineries. Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thanks
And of course, because of the Italian wines, yeah. Well, it's a good white one. It has a name, this white one.
It's a Vermentino from Sardinia.
For Sardinia, okay. Well, because of the link with Italy, of course, my attention and my curiosity was aroused. And that's why I, skip a few years. Because we know each other also from the Castello, de Haar, het Italië-evenement.
Yes.
Smaak en stijl. We know each other for, quite some years now. But I think our friendship grew. And now, here, present in the studio, is a special reason. There's a special occasion because you guys announced just last week, something really extraordinary. But first we go to the beginning. What was the idea? Explain to the listeners why became just an intervenence between the wineries in Italy and the Dutch market over here, because we can all buy Italian wines in the shops.
Exactly.
Why did you do it?
Well, maybe I will start the story. So the history on wine started because my parents, they live in Piemonte, near Acquiterme.
Good start.
Which is a fantastic, beautiful region.
Yes.
For food, for in general the landscapes, but also the wine. And wine is a very big deal of Piemontese culture.
Yes.
And they've been living there for over 7, 8, 9, 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened during COVID, unfortunately, a lot of wineries couldn't sell their wines simply because there wasn't any tourism, no one was allowed in the country, and also export-wise, it wasn't possible for basically the smaller wineries to sell their wines. So my parents asked me and Casper and all our friends, hey, we can buy some beautiful wines from the local winery and we'll send them to you over the post. Some special card boxes to your home. And everyone was like, I really want this wine.
And then starts why you guys started something special.
So me and Casper, we received a box of wine. You're like, this is a great idea. This must exist. Someone else must have done this, that you can order wine directly from the
wineries. Yeah.
Which wasn't the case. And we've known each other for over 10 years now. We met each other in Rotterdam during our studies. And we're like, we want to be an entrepreneur. We want to grow something together. And that's how, short but sweet, but how On Wine came into the picture. As a place where you buy wine directly from mostly smaller producers that can't sell their wine in the Netherlands or Belgium or Germany just yet. And that was 2 years ago. And then we started with just 15 wineries from Piemonte. And now we grew with over 50 wineries from all over the country, from Sardinia to Veneto to basically any region you can think of in Italy.
Yeah.
The good news that you mentioned just now is that we've been doing it for 2 years. It's been going very well. We've been making a lot of people very happy with the platform, basically. And now we're going to grow even bigger. And that's part of the reason, not part of the reason that we're here, because we like to have a good glass of wine with you and enjoy the music.
We celebrate our friendship over here.
Mostly that, but that's also something that happened this week. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, of course, we can talk about that wonderful news just a little bit later. But now, you mentioned already something that people could order. Why not? Having something directly from Italy to your own country, like in Holland. But then the taxes are killing, of course, the good idea. Yeah. So that's why you jumped in that idea to avoid any problems for just, let's say, you as a listener now to the radio, and you think, that's nice. I could order a box of some bottles of wine. But then, of course, you will see and feel the problem of the taxes that you have to pay. And that's part of the problem in Italy, of course, that for the winery, it's not very nice to lose a customer because of the high taxes. Yeah. And, of course, the troubles with the paperwork, etc., etc. And you have to collect your box maybe in a certain area in Holland. You guys, that's the on wine business. Yeah. You guys do the administration, so to speak.
That's the boring part. That's the boring part, but it's the essential part of the whole company is that we take care of all that.
Yeah. So if people order via On Wine their lovely wine of their favorite winery, you guys take care of the administration, etc., etc.
Exactly.
So the customer receives the box of wine, the bottles, directly at his home without any more of administration, of taxes, etc., etc. That's the idea.
Yeah, so basically that's where it got a bit technical. But for every shipment of wine overseas, not overseas, over country borders, the winery has to pay the excise duties and the taxes in the country where it goes to. And before it was not possible because it was new, and now we spoke to the tax authorities. It took us about half a year to make sure it would work. And eventually it worked. And then after half a year we could go live. And now we take care of everything basically for the winery, but also for the customer. So the winery puts it in the box and sends it.
This is already good news, but this is the beginning of the company, of the On Wine company. And it's now becoming more interesting for the fans. And also, if you are a listener at the moment and say, okay, well, good story, but I'm living in Germany and who cares? Or I'm living in the UK, who cares? Well, we have something very interesting to mention and to announce, because these guys are expanding not only for the Dutch market, Holland, but also Belgium and Germany are already included. So there is a very good news for you as a wine lover, maybe, to have this experience, because it's wonderful. And there are more countries soon to be involved.
Exactly. We have big plans. And we want to grow to the entire of Europe.
And I mentioned it already because I'm asking for you for details more later on. But I'm saying this because I don't want to lose the listeners who maybe think, okay, I'm living abroad. Who cares for this wine story for the Dutch market? It's also interesting if you're living in other countries. So Belgium I mentioned, Germany, but the other countries we will mention later on. I'm going to now have an interval with the music.
With the music, of course.
This Italian artist was, as a private person, also in the event of Kasteel de Haar.
Oh, really?
Just is our big friend. He died, sadly. But we will never forget this wonderful guy. He's called Albertone Carpani. And his lovely wife, Rosangela, is still a good friend. She loves and adores Holland. They were married. They had their their honeymoon in Holland.
All right.
We organized that.
Nice.
But he wrote this song together with Mr. Parmigiani, and it's a lovely dance song. And you guys love the dance made in Italy. For sure.
Still the Haar, we loved it.
with Paolo J.
Guilty.
With JP. So, enjoy this one. This is Artepal. And don't go for the title of the track. 2000 is the year of the release. Urbana label. The lady called, the project called Artepal.
Give up, oh look it up, oh baby don't give up, oh fly it up, oh baby don't give up, oh look it up, oh baby don't give up, oh fly it up, oh baby don't give up, oh look it up, oh baby don't give up, oh fly it up, oh baby don't give up, oh look it up, oh baby don't give up, oh fly it up, oh baby.
Stepal. And of course, Don't Give Up. Never forget that this was co-written by Albertone Carpani, our big friend. We still remember him, I told you. And Marco Parmigiani. We have in the video, in the screen, it's our family member. It's Fred Ventura. Applauso, applauso, applauso. Ciao Fred.
Buonasera a tutti. I'm a resident in Radio Stad in Haag.
Yes.
Almost.
Yes, you are, because of all the shows that you really took care of in the past, but also for the future, because every third weekend you are there with a wonderful mix of surprising chosen tracks out of your archive. We watch your archive behind you.
Yeah. No, listen, this is a proper archive. Look.
Oh my gosh. I can recognize so many things. But also, I remember now seeing the vinyls. You already had, in the end of the 90s, a load of CDs. Already you had so many CDs.
Yeah, the CDs are on the other side. I really lost control on my records, and I'm so fed up that you can't imagine. It became a job just to make them in a proper order, to know what I have and what I need when I need something to listen or something. So the fact is that when you are 40 or 30, you have plenty of time in front of you, but now all these records are pretty unnecessary. Most of them, actually, because I don't have the time to listen to them again. Mm-hmm. And considering that I'm not a DJ and I don't use vinyl when I play in a club anyway, so most of them are unnecessary. I'm very proud of my discography.
Yeah, of course.
I have a lot of stuff. Also, my own discography, my own records are so many. My God. Yeah. I have a lot of extra copies of the catalog, all the CDs, all the compilation where there was a track that I wrote or produced in the 90s. So it's really complicated, really complicated. And this is my music room that is never finished, because the day it will be ready, I will make a party.
Well, I think some people could refer to a man cave. You have a vinyl cave.
Yeah, I have a vinyl cave and a CD cave, actually. and don't forget that I also have all the cassettes.
Oh my,
tapes.
yeah.
Yeah, all the that with the master from the music from the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's really complicated, and I really need to organize better what I have.
I can imagine.
Because I have a good organization, but consider that most of the stuff that is inside this room was at my parents' place.
Yes, via Monviso.
Exactly, and so it took a few years to be able to
transfer.
Find
to transfer.
a place.
Yeah, I can imagine. But I recognize this because also I am a collectioner. You know it from the start. But I have this excuse, so to speak, that I use my archive here in the radio. I really play the songs and I love to do it. But as a collectioner of vinyl, I know exactly what you mean. That it's a lot of time to invest, to organize. Sometimes maybe on a label, sometimes on alphabet, maybe for an artist, whatever. You name it. But the next one, because I want to cut this little interview that we will have. Well, little. We want to cut this into some pieces because the main reason, of course, is that I invited you for the release of the Milano Undiscovered 2023, which is a wonderful concept. But first, I want to go back in the time because you have a lot of fans. People think they know Federico di Bonaventura, but there are still so many sides of you to discover. Maybe they never have listened to this one. Yeah. And this is a surprise for you maybe also. Do you remember this one?
Yes, obviously. Savino's Touch.
Yeah! Savino DJ.
Numero uno.
It was sadly not printed on the label, but listen to this. My gosh.
No, it was released.
Yeah, in 2008, 2009, it has been written by the guys of Clone, because this is a white pressing for Clone. Do you have it in your collection? Yeah, for
yes,
sure.
I have it.
Okay, luckily. So we're going to listen to this one just as a token of admiration to you and to Savino DJ. I'm not ready.
Listen.
DJ created this version of I'm Not Ready Fred Ventura. If you want to look for this one, you have to go to the Clone Record Company. And, well, like I told you, it has been printed also on the label that it was, prepared in 2008 and it has been published in 2009. And we have online, in screen, we have still Federico di Bonaventura.
Hi, I'm Fred Ventura. And where is Marcello?
Well, I'm here.
This song was actually released on a record by Aiello.
Yes.
A friend, DJ Rocca from Reggio Emilia. And the original version is on their first album. And then, Savino made this excellent remix that it's a sort of tribute to Bobby Orlando. Obviously, it's very easy to note that it sounds exactly like the original production by Bobby Orlando, and this is the reason why I love it, because I consider it.
Yeah, it fits.
Yeah.
It's really suitable for this track to be to have a version like this. Speaking of friends, Savino DJ, of course, is another family member. But we also you have seen maybe also Maurice, who is taking care of quite a lot of things for you already now for the things that you do.
Maurizio Giovane.
Yeah, the big one. Well, the digital king, we say sometimes. Okay, I have some reasons to go back and forth, but now we're going to do something like paying attention to the real novelty, the new album that has been published, and it's out now, if I'm correct. You had this launch party in Music Planet with Alberto La Ruffa and
exactly.
a lot of fans. Maybe we can have some footage also to see for the fans later on in the show. But I want to refer to the album. How did you compile? What was your reason to choose the tracks that you did? Were these ones like on a wishing list? Okay, I want these and these and these printed on a vinyl, and now's the time to do it? Or is there another motive?
The fact is that a couple of years ago, I released a compilation that had the same title, but it was it was completely dedicated to early 80s sounds. Sorry for my voice, but I got flu, so I'm not in a very good condition. All the family is sick, so it's okay. So Milano Undiscovered first release was the one with the red cover, and it was made of tracks that were produced by friends of mine here in Milan during the early 80s. So there was some Italo disco, some synth pop, some minimal synth, mostly electronic music with different vibes. And after some time, considering this compilation was pretty successful, it was on many playlists, end of the year playlist. The label sold it very well. It was available everywhere in Europe, in London, in Berlin, in New York, and considered like a real essential compilation. I decided to make a compilation with involving most of the same people involved in 1980 in the compilation of the early 80s. So 80% of the people that are part of this new compilation are people that were producing music already in the early 80s, so old friends of mine. And then there are some new artists that I was following recently and I respected. So I decided, I asked to my friends to send me tracks like I usually do. You send me tracks, and then I will try to make it work as a soundtrack, to have a sense, because, my work about Milano is going on since many, many years. I made the Milano New Wave compilation, the Milano After Punk, and many other Milano Disco Wave album. So my idea is always to push talents and people that I respect that are coming from the same city as me. And so there is it's not about being proud of being from Milan, but it's about taking a picture of what is happening here, without following any trend. You know, Milano is very fashionable city. Everybody, when they think about Milan, they think the fashion week, the design week, the posh shops, the fashion, you know. But there is another side of the city where people are making music in an underground way. And they are still producing music since almost 40 years, because some people that are involved in the compilation were already making music in 1980, 1979.
Yes.
So it's a sort of, bunch of old friends, and then some new additions, some new friends that are obviously very relevant, because what I want to do with the compilation is trying to explore what is happening in Milan now. So we are from the old school, and we are still working on music. And then there are some new people, all young people that are producing some interesting music without compromise, without any idea of being too commercial or following the trend. That's it.
So you are connecting the past and the present, so to speak. We have played already tracks in the Saturday Night Live show. Also in my show last week, we played tracks. And I want now to play something, and maybe you can explain, because the group name is not so easy for foreign people. Italo Oscillazioni.
Italo Oscillation. It's
written in Italian. It's written in Italian on the album, right? Yeah.
Italo Oscillazioni.
Yes.
Italo Oscillazioni.
I did my best.
It's a very talented guy from Milan that I actually met the first time, I think, in a record shop or in a vinyl fair, and is producing some very interesting music. This is his old project, Italo Oscillazioni. Now he's involved in a new project that is very complicated to name, because it's in French.
Oh.
And he have an album. The guy is called Elvio, and I think that now he's more involved in electronic music in a sort of Jean-Michel Jarre kind of way with his new project. But he's also in love with Italo disco, Italian synth pop. He have a huge collection of synthesizers, drum machine. He knows everything, you know. He's a very smart guy, and he have a talent.
Okay, well, the Nuove Corde, we are going to play it now, because this is part of the album. And then after, we have a jump into another time for the Monohan remix, because we love the more discos still, that album. And then we go back to Atelier Folie. So we don't forget the old guys from the early 80s. But first, this one, the Italo Oscillazioni, the Nuove Corde.
Hello everybody, you are listening to Radio Stad Den Haag, #1 radio station in the web.
didn't say too much. It's really something special. I love this kind of... Also, Rick, here in the live chat, he said, yeah, like Fred, I am always pleased to discover new talents. And that's what you explained. If you meet somebody who's really a talented guy, or sometimes a girl, in the music, in this case, because we are talking about music, it's really something uplifting. It's good for the spirit. Gwen says, of course, as Mama Radio, I'm always in love with each and every track that Federico is involved with. So
yeah,
you have...
Gwen, I think is too kind. Honestly, I think I'm invading the hard disk of Radio Stad Den Haag with all these releases. It looks like me and Paolo are working on everything in the market, but it's not true.
No.
Because sometimes it takes ages to see a record released, like the Maxime Duval remix.
Yes,
that is just been released. We made it probably almost 1 year ago, or at least 7-8 months ago. This compilation was ready 6 months ago, or maybe more. So sometimes, for months, nothing happened, no releases, nothing. Then 1 week after 1 week, there are many.
Yeah, and look here in the studio. We have the guys from On Wine, a wonderful company, new guys having a wonderful idea of importing the wine to Holland. But, the customer can order their wines directly from the winery in Italy and then to their home, and they take care of the administration and the taxes. So that's a wonderful new idea. So it's really crowded now in this show of Iventi d'Azzurro, but nevertheless I'm happy because this is inspiring, this is wonderful. And don't forget, Federico, you are not invading the radio, because if we didn't like the music that you are composing, arranging, producing, we wouldn't have this kind of invasion.
I know, obviously I know, and I appreciate the fact that you all like what we are doing. We are trying to do our best to take the level up,
yes,
because
do.
Making records for not almost, but for 40 years, and being through different phases of your life and career means that music is evolving, is changing. Technology is changed 10 times since when we started, and now is changing again and again. So what we are trying to do is to take every record we do to another step. I don't like to look backwards too much, because I think what I've done in the 80s, it's okay. What I'm trying to do now is to show that my roots are in the 80s, but I'm also a man of today.
I have the old ones also with me, because I thought, well, maybe you want to choose after this little interview, which is not so little, but maybe you choose also what kind of record I can play for the fans, because you have still so many fans of the 80s, not only for today, because they respect you for today's work with Paolo Gozzetti, but also from the past. People hang on to your music still, because it was well produced, well written, and people love you for this. So,
Marcello, honestly, every time, when I think about what I was doing in the 90s, we were in touch. You remember, we were seeing each other regularly. You were more here in Italy than in Holland at the time. You were traveling a lot. Since I left Time Records, I started to work on my own music, Evolution Records, Free Zone Records with Irma Records, and I was very busy, I was doing a lot. And then, these records were considered too underground, they were not selling, and now, 30 years later, these records are huge again. And everybody is looking for this record, because they were different, people are always digging the past because until I think 24 years ago, records were sounding different. We were using a different equipment. So I think the nostalgia is about the fact that this music was made with proper instruments and not with a software and a laptop, and so they were sounding dirty. That's it. So I've been able to work in different stages of technology. Yes. When I started, I had to play my demos note by note because there was no sequencer. We couldn't afford it. And then we had the sequencer, the drum machines. Then we had the computer, the Atari, and then we have more and more and more. So now it's definitely easier to make music, but it's not easy to make good music.
Exactly. That's what some people wrongly think, that it's today easy because of the computer, but it's not, because it's lacking sometimes of ideas, lacking of talent, lacking of beautiful melodies or arrangements. Speaking about the past, I have just for illustration, we can play it later on maybe, but for illustration I have here, like you said, the underground, Love Nation, Everything for You.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
Yes, that's what's really something, but on a Calypso record label with Irma. You mentioned Irma, and it was really great. Also the Active, the No Way Out.
Yes.
For the Giacomo Maiolini Time Company. And I have also...
No. Active was not on Giacomo.
Disco Magic. Excuse me, Disco Magic.
He didn't like it.
He didn't?
No.
Oh my gosh. Because it's a good one. It's a really good one. Yeah. And what you say, it's now becoming more interesting because it has an age of now. It's a history. So now it's interesting for the fans to find all those rarities like the Milano 2000 project also.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty easy until a few years ago. There are some titles that are very cheap and very easy to find because they were pressed many copies. Then there are a few that are like the value on Discogs is around 100, 200 euros, but they are impossible to find. They have been also repressed by some independent label. Because honestly and unfortunately, this record don't belong to me. I'm not the owner of the masters because Evolution Record was part of the Disco Magic, and so all the catalog of Evolution Record belong to ZYX. So I cannot do anything about it. I don't get any money, any royalties, nothing.
Oh my gosh. So Federico is talking about the Evolution label, and the Milano 2000 that time was with Disco Magic, and that's why he said the catalog has been sold to the Zix company in Germany, and that's why he can't control it anymore. It's in their hands now.
But I had the idea that maybe I spoke with the people at ZYX. I had the idea that maybe I can do something with the catalog directly for them, just to give the possibility to people to know it directly again, instead of buying records that are in bad conditions on Discogs. And
I can understand. We go now to the more disco time, because later on we go to Atelier Folie of the Milano Undiscovered. But this is something also very special, because The Flash in the Night is a beautiful song. It's a powerful song from the past, but you gave it a new spirit. We love it. Also in this Monohan remix
this
version.
This remix is fantastic. I think I should thank the Gatto brothers forever and ever.
Yeah. So we are going to listen to this one, and then after that one, after a little talk, we go to the Atelier Folie track, okay?
Flash in the Night.
Yes. wonderful because I told the listeners and to you, Federico, that this is, of course, a worldwide hit from the classic history of music and the disco sounds. But you have lifted this one again now, because other people did it before, but you did it now in a wonderful way into our times of 2023. So I needed to let the listeners have this pleasure again, because we played it also yesterday in the Saturday Night Live. Gwen and Menno were responsible for that really action with Michiel. But I wanted to do it again because it's a beautiful one. You were also launching the new album in the record shop in Meda with Alberto La Rufa, Music Planet. It was wonderful to see. Yeah, he's in the live chat, so he's watching and listening, of course. But there is a little surprise because, okay, I have to explain to you, Federico, the viewers will miss you for a moment because we are going to watch Roberto Turati as a DJ in the Music Planet shop. And you are singing live, well, quasi-live, The Flash in the Night. So I thought that footage is so wonderful, and we thank Mauri Pirotta and Nunzia. Nunzia was filming also for Roberto Turati. I thank them for the footage that I have seen because of Alberto La Rufa, and he sent me also some footage of that wonderful Saturday afternoon, and it went on till 8 in the night. But watch this. This is Fred Ventura with Roberto Turati as a DJ. Watch it. And then it stops. Okay, you were there. Well, we have seen Roberto Turati with our friendly station, Freedom Street Radio, because we love that initiative, and Alberto La Rufa, of course, for a fact. But it was so nice that Turati was playing that song.
Yeah, but you know, Turati liked to party, so you know. It was,
and for the people,
it was a very friendly meeting, you know.
It was
in the shop, you know, because Music Planet is a sort of unique place. It should be called Unique Planet instead of Music Planet.
That's a compliment. That's a compliment, Alberto.
Yeah, because it's the only shop where they pay respect to what Italian producers are doing, and also because he's in love with the music, he's in love with all the things connected to
exactly,
you know, selling records, making people happy with the music.
Yes,
and you know, unfortunately, there are not many shops like this anymore. Probably there are some in Europe, probably not in Italy, definitely.
That's why he's unique.
Yeah, we should need at least like 100 shops around the world, like Music Planet. We would be, we would have a great lifestyle after, you know.
Yeah. So with this compliment to Alberto, and of course everybody who's helping out and organizing, not only in the radio but also in Music Planet, I want to go now, and then we conclude our interview, to our wonderful dear friends Rago and Farina, because as Atelier Folie they are also present at the Milano Undiscovered 2023. Can you explain why you had chosen the Planet X track?
But you know, Rago and Farina for me are two of the most talented and unique characters that I met throughout my career. You know, I always had a sort of admiration for them, even when I didn't know them personally. And I met them later on, not in the 80s. I met them later on. I think they made some incredible records. They were pioneers.
True.
They lost touch through the late 90s, and then they came back. My goal was to make them come back properly. So this is the reason why through my label Disco Modernism I have released many of their most recent records. And I think that they are legends. They are true pioneers. But as usual, people are always rich in talking. But then the facts are that they are not considered as important as other producers. But I think they can count 5 records that are unique and masterpieces. There are not many that can say the same thing.
That's true. So we're going to listen to the Planet X. I played that one last week, but I'm very fond and very keen on doing it again.
The reason why I put this song Planet X is because 5 or 6 years ago they gave me a CD with a full album of new songs. Mm-hmm. And they were demos, okay? So they needed to be produced and mixed properly. Mm-hmm. But then nothing happened, because for many reasons, it needed a lot of work, and maybe we couldn't find the time to do it. That's it. Inside this CD, there was also this Planet X demo. It's a demo. It sounds like a demo, and I like because it sounds like a demo, because it's really true to their personal home sound. And unfortunately, the other songs on the CD are still unreleased, and probably they will never be released. We don't know. But that's it. It's a very simple story. I always collect CDs and demos from friends, and then when I pick them up after years, I find something interesting, and I release it. That's it.
Yeah. So it's really, thank you for the explanation, because this is really more interesting now to listen once again to these wonderful guys of the Atelier Folie. Here is Planet X. say something more about this track is useless. This is a great song. It's really wonderful. So I'm happy that you selected this one, Federico.
Yeah, it's so simple, but it's so classic, and it got music and harmony inside that is something that sometimes lack on contemporary productions. It's it have simple sounds but very emotional.
True, very true. Of course, this is not just the end of playing songs from this wonderful album, Milano Undiscovered 2023. Next week and the weeks after, we will surely continue playing wonderful tracks of this album. If people want to find it on the internet, they can buy, of course, a copy or go to Meda, to the Music Planet shop.
Yes.
That would
it's available. It's available all over the place, so you can find it from Music Planet. You can find it at Bordello or in Rough Trade in London, Juno, wherever. No problem. The record, it's easy to obtain, and it's probably there will be no more of this series of Milan Undiscovered because it's not easy. It's a lot of work.
I can imagine.
It seems simple because to collect 40 minutes of music seems to be a simple thing, but it took me really a long time to be sure about the track list, all the tracks, the change in the remixing, the mixing. It was really a lot of work.
Of course, we can just say thank you that you did it. And may I add, of course, the special greetings, because I think I can speak in the name of them, Roby Koetsier and Eddie Pareggio, Eddie Krijsje, because these are also wonderful members of promoting your music.
Yeah, they're part of the family.
Yeah, they're part of the family. Yeah.
The original family, the one with the original blood.
Yeah, we go back a long time.
Long time ago, and they were there at the beginning. They are still here, following and checking the music and still in love with the music, and that's great,
Yeah, that's what binding us. I'm going to end our conversation saying that, of course, this was all about the new album, and we played some interesting other tracks as well. But nevertheless, people in South America or maybe Mexico, they will kill me, not literally, if I can't place anything that you did in the past. So I want to have the last track here on the turntable. It's a Leave Me Alone.
Oh my God.
Because it's appropriate to leave you alone.
Yeah,
to play that
alone.
one.
I know. Usually, I'm not in love with doing my old stuff.
I know.
Again.
I know.
But in a few weeks, there will be a new record and a new EP with 4 songs. 4 very, very well-known songs, totally reproduced by Italo Connection. So there will be a new Fred Ventura 12-inch.
Oh, that's great.
And it's called Rewind of Change.
Oh, wonderful. And of course, if people are interested to see you live on stage, the 24th of June in Delft, in Holland, we can see each other on...
I'm finally back in Holland, after some time. I really appreciate the fact that they booked me for this gig. My only hope is about the airport, when I will have to go back. I hope I will not find a long queue like last year that I was standing on a line 4 hours to go inside my plane. But
maybe I can ask you, can you reveal something? What are your plans? Or maybe they asked you, can you do something of the old and the new? Or were you asked to do only the old ones from the 80s? What are you going to perform?
When I perform solo, I prefer to perform my old stuff, because I think... I feel more comfortable when I play the old songs because most of the fans want to listen to this song. Obviously, I put on my set list some undercover tracks, that I made under different names, some of Fred Ventura singles, and that's it. But I still have to think about it, what I would play.
But you never change no more, for example, the flex.
Obviously, yeah.
People like to hear this, because if they are watching Fred Ventura live on stage, there is a sentiment of loving the old tracks as well. So you have really comforted our souls. Thank you for that.
For me, it's okay to play the old songs. I'm not that kind of. People think that maybe I'm a bit snob and I don't want to have anything.
No.
But I'm not. What I've done under my name, it's okay. I can do it now, yesterday, and tomorrow. It's no problem. When I go to Mexico to perform, they are not interested most of the time to listen to the new songs. Honestly, if I have to be sincere with you and with all the listeners, when I listen to the songs that I made in the 80s and the songs that I made as Fred Ventura through the last 15 years, I don't think that those recent songs are that good compared to the old one. Probably the old one were not my favorite productions, because you know the story, right? So I don't have to. I don't want to say it again, but I was not proud of the production of some of my songs, and this is the reason why I'm releasing this EP with these reworks. Because at the end, I want to show the way that those songs should have been done by myself. I was young. I was a kid. I had the producers, and they were trying to push their own ideas on my songs. My songs were totally different when they were at the demo stage. So I don't regret. But let's say that those songs can be made better.
Okay, and just for the last question, the copertina, the record sleeve, is showing us Fred Ventura as a decent guy on the, I think it was a castello. It was near Brescia, right?
It was near Verona.
Near Verona,
near Verona, because I made these pictures during the session of Leave Me Alone, when I was at the factory sound studio near Verona.
Exactly.
And then I went for a tour looking for some places to take some pictures, and we went through some weird places and also these castles, and we took some pictures,
Okay.
And
I thought it was maybe the same castello where the video clip was recorded with Giancarlo, with Aleph, with the Bad Power. It could be maybe the same location or not?
But I don't know. Okay. Honestly, I don't know.
You don't remember the name of the...
No.
Okay.
For sure, it was very near to Verona.
Then we have to ask Mauro.
No, I think that Mauro don't know, because I was there with the graphic designer that was doing the artwork of Time Records at the time, called Azenauers.
Yes.
That was responsible for all the artworks. And he was also a very good photographer. All the pictures that I was using back in the days during the Time Records period were made by this guy.
Okay, well, I raise a glass now. I have a glass of wonderful wine because of the guys of On Wine here in the studio. So I say salute, cheers.
Cheers.
Grazie mille. Wonderful that we could speak, and we may repeat this one just before you come to Holland, or maybe with the publication of the new upcoming EP, Wind of Change. Okay?
As you want. Okay.
Let's leave me alone. Ciao Federico. Vi voglio bene.
Thank you very much.
Ciao Federico. Ciao Fred.
Love to everybody. Ciao.
Grazie. wonderful brother in music we have in Federico di Bonaventura, Fred Ventura. But also, don't forget, he is strong in Italo connection with Paolo Gozzetti. So that's why I think we have a wonderful... Well, we had a wonderful interview. It's like a conversation between friends. And I hope that you had the same feeling about it. Now we go to new friends that we have, and it's not for the online guys, but we have Mauri Pirotta and Nunzio Marzulli as the Numa guys responsible for the My Way. I have introduced them to you because I'm proud of what they did, what they are doing. But I saw, just passing by, saying that it was his first song that he was responsible for, of Nunzio Marzulli, but I said to myself, I recognize that copertina. I recognize that record sleeve because it is a blue one. I will grab it for you right now, and maybe Michiel can let me show it to you. It's very simple. Trinity, wonderful. That's it. And on the back, no more information. But I found this one on the floor at Disco Magic. You know, I described, not only me, how the situation was back then in the cellars of Disco Magic. It was really a dirty, massive amount of boxes and dirt. But meanwhile, we could find some really interesting songs. So if you think you are going to listen now to this song, which is a little bit, listen, a little bit dirty. It's not because I destroyed the vinyl. This is something because it's, well, so old. It's from the mid-90s, and I want to let you listen to this, well, a little bit of housey dance or danceable house. It's really what has been produced in those days. So this is Nunzio Marzulli, the first song ever published on vinyl. We admire you, Nunzio, and of course saying hello to Mauri Pirotta as well, because this is something really special. You're listening to Radio Stad Den Haag, Iventi d'Azzurro. My name is Marcello, and we have wonderful guests, including this vinyl.
When you stay with me, girl, you know it's wonderful. Feel that near of me, all around me is magic. You know you want love.
Mauri Pirota, the big friend of Nunzio and of course co-responsible for the My Way production. He said, well, this was the kid time of Nunzio, and I'm so proud that I found it in my archive, this record, because I recognized the copertina immediately. Well, and speaking about My Way, I really can't do it without, because if we are speaking about those wonderful friends, and they were, the week before this one, #1 in the sales of the music planet in Meda with Alberto La Rufa. You heard Federico also talking about that wonderful record shop. I really advise you, when you are in Italy and you have in the nearness of Milano something free time, just go to the record shop and meet Alberto and have a wonderful, well, dive into the vinyls that they have over there. Meanwhile, we are going to play this one, the original version of the Numa guys. And I believed in this track immediately, and it has been wonderful. And Andrea, present here in the studio, was one of the first guys to listen to the original version on my telephone, and I said I was so enthusiastic about the track. Also, Matteo Rigolo. And listen, this is how it sounds. Also, Menno as a DJ said, well, this was something, in the beginning was not #1 for me, but now it is. It's really something that you have to repeat and to repeat and to repeat and to play again, because then it's really going under your skin. And wonderful. Thank you, Numa. Thank you, Nunzio. And of course, Mauri Pirota for creating this wonderful vinyl. And, well, there is more to come, but still we have so many things to discuss. Also talking to the guys of On Wine once again, because they have to explain something more about their story. First of all, we go back to, well, a little bit of last week when we talked to Sandy Chambers. Also, there was this announcement of that EuroDanceVibes.com label with Mark Hoogkamer, Edwin Hoorweg and Annalie Gordon. They are going to create something together with Talisa. And then Georgios Malikoutis from Greece, he said, Marcello, do you remember the Talisa song A Brighter Day, which in fact is a cover of Una Storia Importante by Eros Ramazzotti. So, listen. The magical song by Talisa.
When I think of you most every day, when I don't know the truth, and I'm feeling so lonely, when I don't know the truth, but I know I could.
if you think, well, the guys are totally obsessed with the sipping and tasting and, well, importing the wine. No, they're not. They're also music lovers. And we just talked about, we had some memories of the Italia-evenement.
Ja.
Smaak en Stijl. Kasteel Haarzuilens. The end of May. The third week of May. I think it's appropriate to say. We danced a lot on the music that Paolo J selected.
We did, yes.
This could have been a track by Paolo because this is danceable music.
Yeah.
The dance made in Italy, and also Menno was a fan. But I promised you guys to just have something more like information. What's now new? Because last week you launched a new idea that people could participate.
Yeah,
so to
exactly.
speak.
So
Try
what
to explain. Yeah.
What we launched last year, so we've been busy for 2 years now, and we want to grow, and it's been good so far, but now we're ready for the next step. So we launched a big, it's called share funding, a share funding campaign, which basically means that everybody, every fan, every investor can also be a co-owner of online, a shareholder, so to say, and be part of our journey, where we want to expand across Europe as well. So right now we're in the Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany for selling with Italian wines, which is, of course, a great start.
Yeah.
But also for people who don't like Italian wines, I can't imagine that. But we're going to add other countries as well. So we want to add this year France and Germany as well, and also move to other countries to sell. So yeah, big plans, and everybody can be part of our journey.
I think so. You mentioned now already something very special because I announced it that people could be informed about new challenges, new countries also. Because if you are listening as a foreigner now to the show and you think, okay, this is not because of Italy or Holland. No, we mentioned already Belgium, Germany. I think something to be found on the internet. You published already a wonderful article about what your plans are.
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Portugal. I've seen also as a country, Norwegian customers of Scandinavia.
Going to be part of it.
So Kirsi, watch out! Scandinavia is mentioned.
This is for you, Kirsi.
yeah. So, of course, on my pages of Facebook, you can see what I published on wine. But suppose people are now interested to read something more because we have now not so many minutes left over to explain, and you are afraid that people find it maybe too difficult to have all
also,
this kind of information
as well, right? So
also true. But
the
where can they pick up the information on the internet? Is it on wine, etc., etc.? Just explain.
Yeah, so I think they can find it on our website as well, also on our social media. But maybe quickly to tell the platform where you can be a part of online. It's called iVester. But if you look for online or on social media,
you can have a link.
Yeah, there are links everywhere in our space, so you probably can find it.
Yeah,
but,
and of course, people in these days, I think specifically, are very keen on watching their money, of course. And if they are listening to a story about investments, they could think, especially Dutch people maybe, okay, this is going to be special. I have to be very careful because it's my money, etc. But I have seen 3 levels of investing. You could choose for just a simple dive into your business for just 500 euros.
Even for 250 euros, you can be co-owner now.
Yeah,
already. Okay, because I'm not just speaking about this is easy money, you know.
No, it's a lot of money still. It's an investment.
Looking at this guy, I have to be very careful with my money as well.
No.
So I'm not easy in saying this. Okay, it's just 250 or 500, but people are going to have something extra. Not just investing your money, but you can also be invited for tasting events, or even if you are a big spender, you can come to Italy in Piemonte.
So we made some packages to give some extra to the early investors, the early fans of our concept. So for one package, you get a Barolo. which is of course a nice wine.
Very
to
nice
start
wine.
with.
Yeah.
Or you get a couple of months some wine boxes sent to you. Or for the big spenders, you can go to Piemonte and have a tasting at one of the wineries and probably more. So we make it extra nice for people, and of course also for the people that just started. They are invited to our events because we really appreciate everyone that wants to be a part of it.
So I think the first step for a lot of people could be go to Utrecht, to Castello.
Come and see us there.
Islands.
Yeah.
Because then you can meet the guys live and just shake hands and ask for more. Prepare yourself maybe on the internet, go to On Wine, and then you find all information. Because, you know, I did the same thing. Because we know each other, but still, I went to the internet to go find something more and have indeed the link to that investment.
Especially
site.
have a glass of wine with us and dance with us afterwards.
That's it, because you know that Paolo J is often the DJ over there, responsible for all the audio, and you know he's a naughty boy.
Why not?
When we had to stop the sounds and the playing DJ,
I remember this. Yes.
Yeah, he went on, and not because he wanted to tease, but still the people were asking for music.
Yeah, we were dancing.
You guys, you know,
it was the time of the day.
Yeah.
But
so if you are interested in the dance music of Italy, the Made in Italy sound with Paolo J, you have to be there. But also he's playing Canzone Italiana. There are performances live of the artists singing in Italian. It's not just no. It's already, of course, more Italian flavor, Italian taste. And then if people want to watch you guys, you are as On Wine stand over there.
We'll be there, serving wines from all regions from Italy.
Can you say the website you have once more for the listeners here?
So the website's called onwine.com, and between on and wine there is a dash.
There's a dash. Okay, and
but if you Google it On Wine, you will our website.
Do you have abonnements? Because with coffee, I know I work with BCC and we have Nespresso. You can have an abonnement. You can buy a coffee machine and then you can get the cups. You can pay for it as an abonnement. Do you have it also with wine? Is it possible?
Yes, it is.
Good.
Yeah, we do. So all the wine that has been bought through On Wine, you buy it directly from the winemaker.
Okay, that's good.
And we have an abonnement, a subscription model where you pay a specific amount of money every month, which is €75, and then you receive a box of 6 bottles of wines
every month.
You don't know what is coming, but that way you get introduced to new wines every month. And with that box of wine, you receive a digital tasting. So the winery sends you personal videos for every wine of like 2 or 3 minutes, where he or she tells you exactly what you're drinking.
For €75 a month, babies. Come on.
well, it's not easy money. I told you, but this is a good idea. And, you know, also just compare it. If you are a drinking person, or maybe serving something with a birthday party or whatever. Go to a shop and buy 6 bottles of wine. It's also kind of money that you spend. So you have to reckon it's not just, it's very easy to say this is just 75 euros. Yeah. But if you have a good bottle of wine, it's really worth it. So I thank you guys really for this wonderful opportunity. And next time, it's not just only with the news of maybe developments, but also you are invited to come here whenever you can.
It's been a blast. It's been a blast.
Thank you so much for having us, guys. And introducing us to a lot of good music. And
to
Fred.
A new genre as well.
Applaus voor Gijs en Caspar.
Gijs en Caspar, dames en heren.
On Wine. And of course, we are still connected with Italy. We are going to have we raise the glass for this one. This Cathy Gray song is a popular song from the 80s. It's a really Italo-disco sound. Still listening to Radio Stad Den Haag. Not only the Radio Wine Den Haag, but Stad Den Haag. Iventi d'Azzurro. And keep on listening to this wonderful show on a Monday night, especially dedicated to the Made in Italy sound.
Something I said wasn't something new.
really, like Menno said, it's a guilty pleasure to play this one because it's easy to sing along with and such a beautiful one. Hold Me Tight, Cathy Gray on Man Records. Not Many Records, but Man Records. I see that Michael Rind is now choosing for the mobile listening and maybe other ones as well, because I can imagine after 11 o'clock in the evening, it's logical that...
and there are some people who must work tomorrow.
They have to work tomorrow.
There are some people.
Yeah. But Nunzio and Mauri, they still have this extra surprise because they made, remember last week, Sandy Chambers? They made also the remixed version of that song. If you like the 90s, you really like their version. Listen to this. What a talented guys. They can also create these kind of sounds. Beautiful. Sandy Chambers with the Piermout and Nunzio Numa remix. Sandy Chambers is, and what a wonderful version Piermout and Numa made for this song. And thank you EurodanceVibes.com for making it all possible. So if you are interested in this track, you have to refer to them. But you know, last week Edwin said already that it had nearly been sold out. So even so fast it can be if people like a track that it's sold just in the nip of your fingers. Okay, I'm going back to Fred Ventura. I'm going back to Federico di Bonaventura because, you know, he said already earlier that he has been involved in so many tracks. And this one he wrote. And this one is a beautiful one. I played it before in my show, but I love it. Sissy Brown, 1990, on the Technology record label by Disco Magic. and I hope you like it. With the voice of Virginelle. Later on, she became famous with ABC, with Giancarlo Pasquini. And also, they were involved in the studio back then for creating this sound. It's called Do It. And remember the name, Sissy Brown with Fred Ventura. Italo disco song created by Federico Di Bonaventura. Technology label, I told you. Sissy Brown and Do It. We have wonderful feedback from you in the live chat, but also from the artists themselves. Aka Mauri Pirotta and Nunzio Martulli. Thank you guys. You are wonderful as well. And also, I hope that Alberto La Rufa is still listening, because I was watching and listening to the show last Friday with the wonderful Mara Sunrise having her birthday and selecting the songs. And the last song that we are going to play in this show will be the Italian one that she had chosen as well in the show of Free Zone, conducted by Alberto La Rufa. First of all, we go to another song which is very peculiar and also very nice, repressed by Ferry Ferrato for Lusso Records, Lumix 14. And well, I bought this one at Discos Records in Strijen. You know, Ford de Kreek, if you want to watch him on the internet, show your vinyl, also an initiative of Ford. It's really something special. And this one, Ferry knows it, was one of my favorite of all time, but you couldn't reach it in the early days of Iventi Records. And Ferry was holding on, devoting to get this one, and now he did it. So this is a repress on Lusso Records of the Mathematic Dance, Jericho from Belgium, Iventi d'Azzurro at Radio Stad Den Haag. the Jericho and the mathematic dance. There are still some tracks to play for you. One of those is the Madigan song, The Chance, and the last one will be referring to Mara Sunrise, because...
You have also the birthdays, no?
She had her birthday.
No, because you have also the birthdays, so not the
Of course,
yeah.
I have to do something about those as well. And I want to dedicate the Jericho, the mathematic dance, to Steve Summer, Facebook friend, and also keen in having wonderful ideas about the music. Also remembering 15 of April in Rooms, André den Hartog is supporting Nympho, Lucia Macari and Maxime Goldfinger in the center of The Hague. Maybe it's an idea for you to listen to their choices of the Made in Italy sound and much more, also the Euro sounds. In the meantime, we go to Madigan, to the Chance song, On the Road Records, the third one. And of course, it has been a cooperation between Raf Tedesco and Gigi Maini. So, this is not the last song, but nearly the last.
I wanna give you a chance to discover
Well, Madigan, you know the guy from the Ice Cold Love. This one may be lesser known, but I know for a fact that they spend a lot of money. Maybe, Michiel, you can show this one. In top, you can see a little card attached from Anna Lombardoni. Disco Magic, she was the A&R. And, well, for me, for the foreign contacts, she was very important. She said, well, we spent so much money for this project, for the artist, for the cover, for the whole promotion. But I think it didn't work out in the end, because I think for the most of the fans, the Ice Cold Love is still the biggest one to remember by this guy. I have to... Okay, that's okay. That's okay. First of all, remember, 13 of May, you also can go to the Wollebrand party. 20 years they are going to celebrate. And for 10 euros, you can be part of that celebration in the Wollebrand. Remember that one, 20 years, 13 of May next. Also, I have to refer to something, because today is the second day of Easter, Pasquetta in Italiano. But the coloring of eggs is coming from Ukraine. Did you know that the tradition of coloring eggs is coming from Ukraine? I informed by the friends that we have in Ukraine if they are still okay. There are several listeners to the radio and people I know. They are luckily still okay. One of the guys, Mirutenko, is called. He was with the Stad and Haag party in Zoetermeer for the celebration, but he's okay. He's okay. So that's good news, and I wanted not to forget them. Also mentioning let's say the connection that we have in friendship also with these guys in the difficult circumstances in their country. We have still the birthdays to mention. We have Elius Miller, and also Gwen mentioned yesterday Magnus Carlsson. Marcus Demets from Dukes, he was celebrating his birthday, and Erwin Kleinjan. Then the birthday has been of Gian Lorenzo Tubelli. He died, sadly, you remember that one. And 6th of April was the birthday of Arthur Louf, the brother of Edward. And you have heard Gwen also speaking about those fratelli. Then the 8th of April, Larabel, Mariella Mio, and Denis Grigoriev in the Kazakhstan, and Benoit Caillet in France. Jerry Moon was having his birthday today, and Paolo Porzio, it is not Gianpaolo, but Papa, he is celebrating his birthday today. Then I think I have mentioned each and every one here on my piece of paper, saying also that I need to say that the Indio, the Flexi Summer that we have played in the beginning of the show, was because of also the remarks of Marcel van der Harst, of Paul Jeffrey, but also Chuck Rolando. And I need to say that one, to mention that name. And Pascal Bleu was the one who was really responsible for the initiative of publishing the Indio Flexi Summer on the Facebook pages. So, having said this, I will go back to Alberto Larufa and the Free Zone, the show that he is also creating on a Friday night at 9 o'clock. And with the lovely Mara Sunrise celebrating her birthday, they had a lovely selection of good songs from the 80s and the 90s. And one of the most remarkable songs, and they ended the show with that one, is also a personal favorite of mine. It's Marco Mengoni. And looking at the big one that we have in the studio here, Maurizio also is a fan of Marco Mengoni. So that's why we're going to play the song especially dedicated to all of you who like the Italian language, saying thank you for being with us tonight in this special show with Federico Di Bonaventura, Fred Ventura, and the guys of On Wine. Gijs is still here with us. Thank you for all the information and appreciating the music, etc., and the wonderful wine that we could enjoy. Andrea, thank you for being with us. And Menno and Michiel for the technical support. Let's hope that you like the Due Vite, the two lives of Marco Mengoni, the video clip. And if you are not capable of following Italian, there is a subtitling with the English language. So, have a good night. And of course, enjoy yourself. Buona Pasquetta ancora. And ciao, alla prossima.
Morgenavond is een klein beetje nog onzeker, want Herman krijgt implantaten. En dan weet je natuurlijk niet of hij nog gewoon kan praten. Met de implantaten. Nee, geen tieten. Nee, in zijn mond krijgt hij implantaat in zijn mond. Jij denkt weer gelijk aan tieten. Dat is natuurlijk nogal logisch als jij daarover denkt. Hè? Schut. Jawel. Maar in ieder geval, dat is nog even onzeker. En mocht het zo zijn, dan zou je morgenavond gewoon weer lekker op in kunnen schakelen. Naar Wijntje, Plaatje, Praatje of naar de Stad Zuber 2 in dit geval. Voor de rest woensdagavond Stad Classics met André den Hartog. Je hebt hem gisteravond nog kunnen zien in de Stad Sunday Night Live Show. En voor de rest hebben we dan donderdagavond met Harald Zwaardman in Remixed. Vrijdagavond de Freaky Friday Night met diverse mixers. En de zaterdag is altijd heel speciaal. We beginnen met Ingrid Elting om 8 uur. En daarna Lex van Koeverde. En daarna een uurtje Johan Wiegman van der Velde met zijn mixen. En aanstaande zaterdag zal ik weer met jou de nacht ingaan. Voor de rest de zondag neem ik nog even met je door. Doen we alleen nog even met Duschko. Aanstaande zondag, als je dat even wil weten, hebben wij een nieuwe hitlijst van de Haagse flitsende 50 uit de lang vervlogen jaren. En we gaan weer naar terug. Ik geef het je nu alvast door. We gaan terug naar het jaar 1983. Ik wens je vanaf deze kant wel trusten en eventueel ijzer wederdienende. Tot morgen!
Every Sunday evening, 8 p.m. Central European Time, we spin those old school dance hits, Italo disco and high energy from the 80s. www.radiostaddenhaag.nl. Live with your requests. Go to our website, click the box and mail us your request. Radio Stad Den Haag. Every Sunday live on the internet.
I wanna dance. Iedere zondag tussen 5 en 7 Michiel van der Brugge in Duschko. Met natuurlijk een terugblik naar de Haagse flitsende 50 uit de 80s. Jouw douche vol met disco. Elke zondag tussen 5 en 7 op Radio Stad.